I'm amazed at the amount of people who have just like become hardcore soccer fans in like the last 3 weeks. It's like
So
never
let
talked
me
about
go.
it before, never watched a game before, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, this is the greatest!" It's like when your team wins the Super Bowl or they put on somebody else's jersey, jumping on the bandwagon. To me, it's like I've never. It's like they're just. It's crazy.
So there's two things to unpack there. One, bandwagon fans, of course, but you also got to look at it like this. This is a country event, kind of like the Olympics, right? So you might not be a soccer fan, but you're a fan of your country, right? And so a lot of people will gather for that, for the Olympics, for the World Cup, whatever it has to do with our country, people will join that movement. And what we're seeing right now in the United States is the opposite, no different than what we talked about the last podcast. Is you're seeing a lot of foreigners, people from Europe, Africa, South America, coming over to our country, going, "This is nowhere near what we expected," based on what our media, their local media, is giving them. That Americans are assholes and they don't want to have anything to do with this. No different than if you like look at travel to this country or travel to that country, like, oh, there's a travel ban on that country because they don't like tourists, they don't like Americans, and rightfully so in certain cases. But I think the bigger picture that everybody is missing, that soccer is bringing to the world right now, is that we all are humans. At the end of the day, we have to come together. And if soccer's the point that we all come together on, why not?
Yeah,
Right?
I'm out. I'm just not a soccer fan. I know it's amazing to me, and I think it's great that these people love their sport. Don't get me wrong, but growing up, soccer was always a children's game, and to me, it's like I told my wife this is like you want to make. It's like if you took all the worst aspects of every sport in the world and put them into one, you'd have soccer. Nobody wants to run. Okay, okay, what do they do in soccer? They run back and forth all day long. Nobody wants to watch a low scoring game. Okay, you want a low scoring game? You watch soccer. Okay. Do you want a game that has no contact? No, not really. Well, if you want a game with no contact, but people get hurt, soccer. And I know they're running fast and they get hurt, but it doesn't look like anything spectacular like football or even in the NBA when it's an elbow to the face, or MMA or anything like that. It doesn't look that violent. But, if they shortened the field, had them, carry scissors in their hands, then I'm in. What stat are you looking up? Number of
Flip
injuries?
flops more NBA or
Well, I'll
soccer?
be honest with you. I don't watch the NBA. I can't stand to watch basketball anymore. There's, from the era of Jordan to this era now is not the same basketball that was played.
As of 2017, 52 or 50.2% for basketball and 49.8 for soccer. So pretty much dead even on flops. However, what soccer has done is they have introduced a dive call where if there's no contact, and it happened against the U.S. the other day, no contact, but yet you go down and act like you got fouled, you get a yellow card.
I,
So the way the card, go ahead.
no, I think you hit on something earlier. Is I don't know if it's so much soccer, and it's just dawned on me, or if it's country pride, having pride in your
Oh, it's
country and
100%
supporting your
country pride.
country. Not so much the
It's
sport
100%.
itself, but your country itself.
100% country pride. Like I said, it goes with the Olympics. You know, who gives a shit about the breaststroke, right? Who
Right.
cares about, slalom skiing? Who
I'll give you
cares
that.
about, you know,
Well, I will say real
who?
quick while we're on the Olympics, what is her name? Simone Biles?
Lindsey Vaughn.
No, not Lizzie Vaughn.
Who?
Simone Biles. Can't stand
Simone
her.
Biles. Okay.
She got what she called the twisties and hung her team out to dry and walked away and left the team hanging. Done with her. Can't. No. You perform for your team. It's not about you. It's about your country and it's about your team. And I will give soccer credit. It is about the team and it is about your country. And when she walked away and just like, oh, I don't fit. No, 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 no. I'm not a soccer fan, but I know these guys will play through every injury they have as best they can, and they will perform for their team and for their country. To say, oh, I don't feel like playing is crap. You're horrible because those girls that was on the team with you that year didn't come back the next time the Olympics rolled around, and you made sure
Right.
that you screwed them over. Shame on you. You are nobody to be put on a Wheaties box. What makes a great athlete is performing when the cards are stacked against you, not when they're in your favor.
Exactly.
That's what makes a
Exactly.
hero. And if you can't perform when the cards are stacked against you, then you are not a hero and you do not deserve to be on a Wheaties box. Period.
So that brings me to the point, right? So I don't know if you saw or seen any of the commercial leading up to this World Cup and
Oh, yep.
what they're talking about. Okay. So one of the main ones, which gave me goosebumps because I'm a prideful person. I like, my country and I like our teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they put on a commercial going, all right, so the U.S. does this, the U.S. does that, men's soccer team. We got booted out early, the last World Cup. Uh, it's on home soil. Everybody's gearing up, and two guys are sitting at a bar and they go, do you really think that we could win the World Cup? And the guy goes, I don't know. I'll give us an outside chance to do it. Okay. And then it pans over to another guy sitting at the bar and he goes, what? You don't believe in miracles? And it's the guy that coached the 85 men's hockey team that won the
Yeah.
Olympic gold,
Miracle
which
on Ice.
Miracle on Ice, right? Which the U.S. just did again,
Yeah, with
but
Canada.
prior to that, it was 1985.
Yeah.
So,
You know, I agree with you 100%. I think, hockey is a completely different sport. It is a physical sport. It's football on ice, and it's a little bit of soccer with a stick, you know, makes it interesting. And I think a problem for me is the low scoring. It's very, when you win by 1 point, 2 points max, anything like 3 points is considered a blowout, is it just I miss that competitiveness.
so what do you
Does that make
consider high
sense?
scoring? What sport do you consider high scoring?
Well, I mean, in football, for instance, you can come back in the fourth quarter and win, being 2, 3 touchdowns down, right? In soccer, if you score a goal in the first part of soccer, it's like, oh my goodness, the team is like defeated because we're already 1 point down. It's so hard to come back from being one.
Well,
If you're 2 points down or 3 points down, it's considered a complete blowout in soccer. I mean, aren't the
because
majority of the
it's more
games won?
tactical, though, more tactical. Okay, so, and I think this is where the misconception comes into play because you say we're down 2 touchdowns. Okay, that's down 2 goals,
Yeah,
right? Now, are touchdowns easier to come by than goals in soccer and goals in hockey? Maybe.
I would say yes, and that's what makes it more. To me, that's what makes it more interesting because it's more possible to happen. In soccer, I think the guys are at such a high skill level, and I'm not taking anything away from the soccer players. They're at such a high skill level that the
Yeah,
odds
you
of
get up two,
scoring
three
a
goals, you hunker down and play defense the whole
yeah,
time.
the odds of scoring a point is highly unlikely. Where in football, you have that momentum shift, you have that breakout, you have that one play that you not only builds for that one score but changes the entire game. I don't see that in
I mean,
soccer.
but that's the build up to it, right? Is there are not a lot of goals scored. So when you see a goal scored, it's like, the roof blows off. Like
Yeah,
that's a monumental moment because it is that hard to score a goal or to score a goal in hockey. It is that monumental build up that makes it so interesting. People look at it and go, yeah, that's not interesting. I don't want to watch them go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now with the World Cup, now we're about today is the last day of group stage. So we go into the knockout stage, elimination.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not going to see draws. And I think that's the biggest part of what people don't understand about soccer is the draws. U.S. football has draws. They do. After overtime, the first overtime in football, if the score's still tied, it's a draw. Now, used to not be like that, but I think 4 or 5 years ago they changed it. Uh, so with soccer, it's still on the table with soccer. Well, once you get to that knockout stage, they go 120 minutes extra time,
Mm-hmm.
or yeah, two 30-minute periods. I think is what it is. Two 30-minute periods of extra time, and then they go to a shootout. No different than in hockey. I think they got two 15-minute periods, and then they go to shootouts. And that's where it really gets fun. So once we get to the knockout stage, which starts tomorrow, you'll see a lot more interesting football. They're not playing for a draw. They're not playing for the safety. They're playing to win the ball game.